for me for the next 1.5 hours. This cough has decided to be a nuisance. But hey, the show's gonna go on. Welcome to the Morning Crossfire. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're going to have quite a tough conversation this morning, because all I'm here to find out is who's lying to us, who's lying to Lagosians, who's not telling us the truth. What really is going on? How come we're hearing different things from different sides of the table? So we brought the table right here in the studio, and you can watch the table right here on the Morning Crossfire. You can join us. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3, and we're also live on YouTube. You can join us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM, and on WhatsApp. You guys are sending messages already on this topic. Guys, hold on, okay? WhatsApp number is 08095975805, 08095975805. We are streaming live right now. We had a conversation last Tuesday on the topic on the alleged clampdown on e-hailing cars in Lagos. And we also talked about some of the issues that might have risen. We had on the show, if you remember, Mrs. Afusat Abiketiamiyu, who's the general manager, Lagos State Drivers Institute. She said then that drivers needed to register their details with the Ministry of Transportation to be issued a license, to get third-party insurance and hackney permits. Failure to do any of these would attract fines ranging from 10,000 to 250,000 naira for drivers and the e-hailing companies. We had here in the studio then the president of the National Youth Professional E-Hailing Driver Partners, Ayode Ibrahim, who is also live in the studio today, and other guests said the government should have gone after the companies themselves rather than attack drivers who use their platforms. And drivers are being made to suffer unjustly. This was their stand as at last week. If you're asking me what has changed, remember there was also a protest. The drivers took to the streets to protest the clampdown last week. Let's remind you of what happened.
Now they said they have a luxury Lagos State driver license. You understand? So it bothers us because we know that the driver license that we have is for federal. You understand? Why Lagos State? Now, if Lagos State begin to implement this, won't other states also implement the same thing? But when other states begin to implement, that means we are going to be having like 36 driver license. So that means the federal will no longer be valid. So that's the issue we are having with VIOs. But we are waiting for the owners of the company, the CEOs, the stakeholders should do something about it. Basically, Uber provides job for us. I know how many youths that have gone out of the street because of this job.
You have to get a permit of like 110,000. Then they said if you are going to drive for Uber, you need to change your plate number to a commercial plate number. That's the red plate number those commercial buses are using. Then you get a luxury, then acne permits. Most guys are scared to come out to work now. That's the reason for the increment of the surge. But once there's no drivers, demand tends to be high, then the surge will rise. Supply is low, then demand is high, so there will be surge. It has limited our movement though, that's the main point.
I stopped to buy bottled water for my passenger. I don't even know they have office there. As they come out for that trial 1004, they have small office, small kiosk. You will see them write VIO. So then stand there, camera my phone. You know, read 2 minutes, the man comes, say make I come down. So I then enter that motor, make I come down. Say, oh God, what's happen? Who be you? He say because I no wear uniform. See me, I no see this vest when wear. Me, I no see line where they the body. I said, so if you can't be VIO, then say me you can't catch me for streets. I be at the Tomila Bridge. I be here no be bad on expressway now. He say so I won't prove say I go school where I be. Make I come down. Where's the car key? Asked him my car key. He said no, I have to hand over the car key. And so he come out in the phone. Show me the video as I park behind the road, as I go across to the Malam, collect bottled water, collect recharge card, enter my motor. Now I say okay fine. This video where you show me, the video show how many minutes? We see 2 minutes. He show me the video and the video show a minute that I spent. So and the guy said by force by fire I must to collect my car key. I said sir, I can't give you this car key. And I lock my door. I shut down all the central lock. There is no way now you can open my door. So he dragged my mirror, go front, drag and go back, drag and go front, drag and go back. Instead of me to go front, I purposely reversed from that 1004 first gate to the end of the road. That's when he stopped.
I dragged it forward, dragged it back. There's been a lot of dragging back and forth across the roads in Lagos. And I have here on the show this morning to talk about this And like I said, I only want to find out one thing. What is the truth of the matter? What really is happening in Lagos, and who isn't telling us the truth? All the parties are here on the Money Crossfire. We're expecting one more to join us. I have here right now this morning Mr. Ayode Ibrahim, who's the president of the National Youth Professional E-Hailing Driving Partners. He was here on the show last week also making some allegations, and I invited him to come make those allegations to the faces of those officials, and let's find out what's the truth. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ibrahim.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good to have you here. From LASMA, we have the head of operations, Rover, Mr. Adewuni James. Good morning, sir. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And we're expecting to join us shortly Mr. Akin George Fashola, who is the Director, Vehicle Inspection Service. A lot of issues have been raised. Let me start with you, Mr. Adewuni. What's really happening on the roads of Lagos? There is a traffic law. Let's back up a bit and start with the ban on Okada. Restriction, on more routes, the ban on Okada and Marua in those areas. When I spoke to you yesterday, when I spoke first to the GM yesterday, he was saying that there's nothing new that LASMA is doing. These laws have been in place, but Lagosians are feeling the bite some more. For instance, here in VI, there used to be this keke napep moving people up and down. You can't find them anymore. So you see people trekking long distances. Tell us some more about this traffic rule. What really changed, and what's the rate of implementation?
Yeah, thank you. Really, the traffic law had been in place since 2012. The only difference in what we are having now is that implementation or enforcement has been stepped up. But basically, the rule has been in place. The present administration came out categorically that in 15 local government and local council development areas, that motorcycle and tricycles are completely banned. But in other local governments and LCDAs of the states, the restrictions are to the major roads, the express and the bridges. Like you mentioned, on Victoria Island, it's one of the local government where those two categories have been totally banned. So that's why you will not find them in the inner streets.
So there's a total ban. Like you've mentioned, this is a law, a 2012 law. I mean, that's 8 years ago. Yes, we had this, these bikes, especially the e-hailing bikes. The OPE, the Gokada and all who came into the system because a part of the law did mention the specification of bikes that could, drive on those routes, 200cc and above. And these bikes fell into those categories. I understand that LASMA only, just enforces the law. However, what reactions have you gotten? I know that you are also human and you're also a Lagosian, and not everyone in LASMA drives to work. Have you guys been trekking also to work?
Really, the law does not respect anybody. So wherever the law is being enforced, either you are a LASMA, you are a military man, you are a policeman, you work with radio station or television station, the law is for everybody to obey. So as it affects other citizens, it affects LASMA as well. But since it's the law, we have to live by it.
So you've also been trekking long distances?
We are necessary. But you don't need to trek long distances, or long distances are relative. Because for you to trek long distances, that means you have to go through a major road where you have buses, you have other means of transportation.
Yeah, well, long distance is relative, like you said. So imagine getting down at a hotel. So for me, like you said, from a hotel to this place,
it's rather short for me.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, really. It's short. It's just a short distance, a hotel to this place. And besides, the exercise is good for the body.
Well, why don't you let me choose when to have that exercise? why give me mandatory exercise?
You can have the exercise while obeying the law.
So let me come to Mr. Ibrahim. While we expect the director of the VIS to join us, you made some allegations on the show last week, including a lot of callers, many of whom were drivers on these e-hailing platforms, especially Uber and Bolt.
Yeah.
the Lagos State government came up with a press statement yesterday. I shared that with you yesterday night, just so you could fully understand the conversation. You've looked through it.
Yes.
They've called what you have raised lies and an attempt to get public sympathy. Why are you trying to get public sympathy? Why are you not telling us the truth?
We are saying the truth, and that's why I'm here today, to still put more light on the truth that we are saying. We have a lot of documents. In fact, we will upload this to their Twitter so that they can even see it by themselves, because they put those statements on the Twitter. So we will upload all those receipts on the Twitter. So those people that give information to authority can be able to see it from the grassroots. What we are trying to say here is this: they should realize one thing here in the industry. Most of us are graduates. In fact, we have a lawyer, we have medical doctors, we have engineers. So it's very difficult for us to cook a lie, because we know what the law says and we know what we need to do at the right particular time. Let me now bring you a little much information concerned to what they are doing. The Lagos State government needs to realize certain things concerned to any industry, and which they fail to realize. Before you can operate on Uber, let me use Uber as an example so that I will not mix it up. Before you operate on Uber, there's a document that Uber asks you to upload on your data before they open road for you. What are the documents? Our vehicle insurance, whether third party or comprehensive, depends on what you like for your car.
Right.
Secondly, the roadworthiness and the vehicle licenses and driver licenses, together with the Uber inspections, because you have to take your vehicle to where we do inspection. So those are the documents we will upload. If one of those documents, you see, the Uber platform is a way that if those documents are expired, it will not accept you into the system. So any single cars, because they are making that statement that most of our drivers, we violate the rules. Some of them are not getting driving licenses. Some of them, their vehicle particular is not complete. I can say it categorically here that is a big lie, because in a Uber platform, they have put it there as a mandate that if your document is not complete, there's no way you operate on that platform.
So what exactly is the lie right here? The Lagos State government insists that Uber drivers are only trying to draw sympathy and public attention by saying there's been a clampdown on them and requests made for you to get operational license. They insist this has not happened. What's the truth?
That I'm telling you. If I forward some documents to you,
yes, I'm going to share them shortly.
So I forward those documents to prove that they are collecting this money from us. See, there's no problem by
what monies are they collecting from you?
They asked us to go and bring the operation license, and they asked us to do the AKE permit. And that AKE permit, we did not know before that AKE permit is 6 months, and that's 6 months of a thing. That's what is causing us confusion now, because the company we are working with, we have a standard of working with them. If you are introduced in the AKE permit, yes, we know the last three of the things is kind of orientation, how to drive on the road. But when you are talking about AKE permit, and you said the AKE permit is 6 months, after 6 months, we go back again to go and collect another one. The question is this: these people on the platform are just like a private, but you tag them as a commercial, fine. If the person want to sell his car, did he want to sell it with AKE permit or with roadworthiness?
Mr. Adewuni is here. While the VIS is not here, we expect him to come. I'm following up with him on his movement. But tell us about, cars on the road, the different categories of cars, private, commercial, and the documents they need to have. What documents do you check for when you stop cars on the road in Lagos?
Well, it's like there's a mix-up in the functions you are attaching to the organizations. For instance, LASMA does not just stop a vehicle to check the papers. So if you want these categories of papers for each type of vehicles on the road, you need to get the MVAs or the VIS. So
you'll be here shortly.
Yes.
You're saying that your organization does not stop drivers to ask them for documents?
Not primarily. Ours is to get a primary offense first. that's a primary traffic offense. That's the only reason why we can now ask for particulars, and just to check whether the particulars are current or expired. So we are not looking for any expired papers by just stopping the vehicle.
So you stop a vehicle that you believe has violated some rules.
He has to have violated a rule before he stopped.
Have you been stopping any Uber or Bolt drivers in recent times? Have you had any experience with them? What are the challenges you think many of them have had in terms of documentation?
Well, we don't target any vehicle for checking of papers. What we do is we are to move the traffic, and when any of the traffic rules has been violated, that's when we apprehend. And really, ours is to go for the primary offense. So once the vehicle is contravened, it's just the primary offense we are interested in. If there's any reason, then we might go for the particulars, but usually not on the road. And most times, if need be, we refer them to the VIS to get whatever necessary papers they need to have.
Well, I'm following up with Mr. Akin George. He said he'll be here in 2 minutes. While we expect him, the phone lines are agog, so I'll go to the phones. Lasima is here. Like I said, it's a face-to-face conversation today. So let's bring it to bear and find out what exactly the truth is. Mr. Adewuni has said that Lasima does not stop drivers just to look for, maybe fault with your documentation. You must have committed an offense before you're stopped and your documents can be asked. You can be asked about your document. Is that what is happening on the road? Call me now.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
Yes, this is Nigeria Info. We are listening. Okay, let's start off here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Olushola.
Olushola, you need to put off your radio very, very, very quickly, please.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, please. Where are you calling from?
Olushola.
Yes, where are you calling from?
VI.
Okay, talk to me.
Please, the way the VIO and the LASMA people harass us on the road is bad. Normally, this acting permit they are asking for, we have not heard of it before.
When you say we, who is we? When you say we,
all the drivers. So if they want to bring any rules, they should have informed Uber and Bolt. They know how to send message to all drivers, so that they will send us a message that Lagos State government are asking for so thing. If you don't follow up, they are going to come.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Olasun Komiafi.
All right, welcome to the show. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lekki.
All right, go ahead.
I'm a member of e-hailing driver.
Oh, you're a member of the e-hailing drivers. Okay, talk to me.
So, on this particular issue.
Yes.
I wish that the PIS man is here.
Oh, he'll be here in a minute. I'm following up with him. He'll be here in a minute.
It's not about being a member of it. These people will not come out to say truth. The last man has said the first part. They don't stop people for FICO papers or those things.
Is that true?
But yeah, they don't stop for FICO papers or those things. I haven't experienced that one. They only stop for offenses. I wish I even heard it of now that they are not even meant to arrest people. So as part of VIS, I have some video which we can upload and send to you.
Video? Can you summarize what happened in those videos?
Yes. On Sunday, on the road in Lekki here, they stopped some vehicles, which are Uber vehicles, both. They will even ask for your phone, that you want to see your phone, whether you are Uber, which I'm surprised that maybe they are authorized to be collecting people's phone. Or Uber, they will ask for operational fee. There are some documents which they even ask people, they even ask people for last day or something like that. This last day of a thing, they introduce this during of Pastor Shola. I got it. I use this thing throughout this thing expire. Nobody asked for it. What I just see now is that Lagos State is looking for avenue to get money. The other woman that came the other side, because I follow you up, talking about it's not avenue to get a revenue. It's nothing. It's a pure lie. They are looking for avenue to get money from us, which they should go to Uber or Bolt to provide them what they need.
Right.
Because on this platform, we provide all the necessary documents to them before you can operate on this platform.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning to you.
I'm Mr. Chike.
Welcome, Mr. Chike.
Yeah, I'm calling from Texas.
Okay.
Please, I'm a victim of what is happening.
What? Tell me what is happening. So we don't know what the truth is now. You tell me what is happening.
Okay, on Tuesday last 2 weeks, I was coming from Yaba. I drove somewhere from Unilag. I was coming from that there's a flyover that place. Before I could know it, VIO people, they come and approach me. I said, please, I'm Uber driver. Before I know it, the signal about 3 of them, they gather me. Before I know it, they carry my motor to their office. So when I reached there, they said that I don't have operational license. I don't have hacking permit. Before I know it, they issue me a ticket. The ticket is still with me. I snap everything. Because
what is written on that ticket?
They say no operational license, no hacking permit. I snap it. I can send it.
Are you on Twitter?
Yes,
all right, please share that with us on Twitter right now if you can. It's at Nigeria Info FM. You can copy me at Wemimo Sport. I would like to see it. Thank you very much. Let's see who's here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, morning to you.
My name is Montairo.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, now I have a question for the VIS man who's coming in.
Okay, I'm getting them down.
First of all, Hackney permit, is it for commercial vehicles or for private vehicles? Secondly, the operational license they are talking about, if they want operational license from Uber, they should go after Uber and not the drivers. Thirdly, the last mile officer you have in the studio, what he was saying earlier, is he speaking on behalf of Uber or is speaking from his limited knowledge?
What precisely are you referring to?
About the documents that are required by Uber for your account to be active.
Oh no, that's the president of the E-Hailing Drivers Association. Okay. Yes, that was talking about the requirements.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't tune in on time.
Yeah.
So these 2 questions are for the VIS man.
Okay.
And then also I don't think there is collaboration between Last Mile, VIS, and the Lagos State government. It's like everybody is acting on their own, especially the VIS. They are misbehaving on the road. They should do what they are constitutionally meant to do and stop harassing people on the road.
Well, they insist that they are not harassing people.
They are harassing people. We would upload video on your Twitter page now.
Please do. I'll like to see it. Okay. You have no issues with Last Mile, however, right?
Exactly, no issues with Last
Mr. Ayade, is a very good morning for you today on the show. I mean, everyone said they have no issues with you. All right, thank you very much for calling, and you too. Okay, let's see who's here now. Hello. Okay. All right. Mr. Akifashola Judge will be in here in a moment to join us on the show. To tell us what VIS is doing. But before we head out for our very first break, we're due for one. Mr. Adeoye, for Last Mile, I mean, it's a good morning for you on the show, it appears. I mean, all the allegations, you seem to have done fantastically well until proven otherwise. But you smile, yes, until proven otherwise. It's a long day we still have ahead of us. Let's talk about the way you enforce. So when you apprehend or you stop a driver who's committed an offense, you can tell us what these offenses are. It's a long list, I know. Some of them were upgraded when the new governor came in. It's a long list. But there's still issue with technology, using technology to be able to track these vehicles. Do you still run after vehicles to apprehend drivers who flout the law?
Well, we don't run after vehicle, really. But we do arrest on the spot. That's on the spot of contravention, where necessary or where possible. That if an offense is committed, if it is possible to apprehend that vehicle at that spot, all well and good. But if it's proven risky to pedestrians or the commuters, then there's nothing wrong in letting go at that particular moment. But that does not mean the vehicle has escaped the infraction he has committed. At whatever auspicious time that is possible, we can still arrest once we have the record, the evidence of the infraction committed.
So how do you gather this evidence? How do you retain it? I mean, an offense is committed right now. You can't stop the driver. How do you gather the evidence?
Well, our personnel have different means of keeping records of these offenses, like taking photographic evidence or having the video shots. Then we are coming up with another app that records the infraction and transmit it to a central command. So yes, the public will be properly briefed when it will come into operation.
We can't wait to hear it. LASMA is going digital. We can proudly say maybe, and they might be able to track those offenses in real time and keep them stored up for when you would be caught up with if you do flout the law. Let's head out for a very quick break. Hopefully by the time we return, Mr. Aki, Judge Fashola should be here. Yes, please.
Yeah, I think before we go for that break, there's one of the callers that mentioned that the governor has prohibited LASMA from making arrests. This news has been going all over the social media, but I think it's better the caller get a clarification now, and for others that believe in such news, there's no truth in it. So they should not be deceived that the administration of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has stopped LASMA from enforcing the law. The Lagos State traffic law is still very much in place, and LASMA is one of the agencies that enforces this law. So people should get that clear and discountenance whatever news to the contrary.
Okay, let's talk about all the news to the contrary. Mr. Aki, Judge Fashola is here. I'll bring him in the studio while we head out for this break. And yes, you can keep calling. I see those calls, and then we can have more conversations. Who is not telling us the truth right here in Lagos? Is there a clampdown on e-hailing rides and these companies and their drivers across Lagos? Lagos State government says there's nothing as such happening. The drivers say, yes, it's happening. You keep arresting, you keep harassing us. LASMA seems to be having a good day on the show this morning. But let's talk some more when we return from the break. I'm Wemimo Adewuni. This is the Morning Crossfire.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment. From your number one talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.
This is the Morning Crossfire. You got it correctly. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info, and it's buzzing right here on the Morning Crossfire. The phone lines are on fire because we're asking the question, who's not telling us the truth? What's going on in Lagos? We have from different sides of the table, and the Lagos State government came out with a press statement yesterday saying Uber drivers are lying on us. They're not telling you the truth. They're just seeking for public sympathy. And we've had a number of them also call this morning to say no, but there is harassment. There is clampdown on Uber drivers in Lagos. And we're saying, okay, so what's really happening? So we've brought to you all the sides of this conversation of the show today. You listen in, you call in, you tell us what you think, and we can make a decision right here this morning. I have here with me in the studio today the president of the National Youth Professional E-Hailing Driver Partners, Ayado Ibrahim. Thank you for being here still.
Thank you.
And Mr. Adeoye, who's having a field day. I mean, last month is shining on the show today. You guys say you have no problems with them. Okay, great. Mr. Adeoye Oluyemi James is the head of operations at Lasma Rover. Thanks for coming in again.
Thank you.
And joining us, the big man on the show, we have Mr. Akinjot Fashola, who's the director Vehicle Inspection Service. You've been waiting for him, and here he is. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning.
I hope you were listening on your way in, because the allegations are mounting. The people are threatening to send me videos, to send me photos, to send me this and to send that. I can't wait to receive them. I'm on Twitter right now. Remember to tag at Nigeria Info FM. On Twitter, you can also tag me at Wemimo Sport. Okay, let me see what you're talking about. Okay, I get you. I see your tag. You're talking about your document and it can't expire. Someone tags us in a video, which I'm playing right now. Let me see if I can get you to listen to that. This video.
Ole, you people are criminal. Ole, criminal. You people are criminal. Ole, go punish all of you. Now the craze, ole.
And if you're wondering, no, it's not a theft scene. It's a scene. You can watch this on YouTube right now, on Twitter right now. I'll retweet it so you can see it on our handle at Nigeria Info FM. This is a group of people stopping VIS officials. I can see them hitting on their cars and say, you're thieves, you're this and that. While they're trying to make an arrest. Welcome to the show again, Mr. Fashola. It seems the party is all about you today. You insisted when I called you that there is no clampdown. In fact, you sounded frustrated when I said clampdown on Uber drivers. Well, here he is, right here with you. Here they are on the phone. Here are the video evidences. You insist there is no clampdown on Uber drivers in Lagos. Please tell us what the truth is.
Well, I don't know what truth you're talking about. If they have any proof that we are clamping down on them, let them bring it forward. Just like the press statement said yesterday. If you have the proof, bring it forward. There is no specific clampdown on any organization. If there is a clampdown on the road, it is general across the board. It is not particular to any one particular individual or group. I don't understand that. But, you know, when it comes to enforcement, people will make up all kinds of stories. If you do not have the correct particulars at any given time to be on the road, of course you will get arrested. What do you expect? It is not particular to you. It is not a personal issue. It is state law that says if you are a commercial commuter transporter and you collect money from people to take them from point A to B, you must have certain documents.
So, I mean, I can see the way he's looking at you. Like I said, we're going to have this conversation. You heard Mr. King, Judge Fashola, Mr. Ibrahim. I mean, till 10:30 p.m. yesterday, you insisted to me that there is a clampdown. Please talk to him.
Sir, there's a clampdown on us. Although, as you rightly said, you may not directly to us, but the work they are doing is targeting us, and I will prove it to you, sir. We have some document here that we can give to you if you want it for us, and if there's any place that we need to channel it to, we are ready to do that. We have some video evidence too. If there's any place for us to challenge to, we do that one too. But what I want to say here is this. At least the state government knows that Uber is operating in this country. At least about since 2016 to this present time, they'll be operating in Nigeria. And I believe that before we started operating on those Uber's platform, we have some document that it was, related with the state government. And I will give you a specific example. If you have a car from Ogun State and you want to use it as Uber in Lagos State, the Uber will tell you that if you upload the roadworthiness from Ogun State into your Uber account, it will not accept it, and they will ask you to go back to Lagos State and collect the roadworthiness of Lagos State. And we ask question by then that why is like that? They say as long as you are operating in Lagos State, they will always accept the roadworthiness of Lagos State. To see that there's a synergy, for Uber to tell us that there's a synergy between the government and the Uber platform. So now the issue of AKE permit, we believe that it's supposed to have challenged to us through the platform that we are working with. So all those things we have put embedded into the document that we normally upload.
Okay, so one of the challenges here is a Hackney permit.
Yes, Hackney permit and the operating license.
So let's take it one after the other. Hackney permit. Yeah. And this is because you operate as private drivers on a commercial platform.
Yeah.
All right. So Mr. Fashola, can you tell us, for Uber drivers, like he explained last week, they partner with Uber and they use their private cars to pick up passengers that Uber had requested for. Are they commercial drivers? Why do they need Hackney permit?
Thank you. First, let me dispel this rumor. You don't see Uber coming on or in the newspaper that we have an issue with them. So I don't understand why their partner drivers are coming to say that we have, when your own parent company does not do that. Now, let me go to the main fact. If you, as a private citizen, want to engage in services that pick up passengers and charge them money to take them from point A to point B, you are classified as a commercial driver.
Though I use a private car.
It does not matter. Because we look the other way, you're not even supposed to do that. But because Uber, Bolt, other e-hailing cabs have a uniqueness to their services, we turn a blind eye.
Why do you turn a blind eye?
Because it's just to make the process easy for them.
So why do you want to make it now hard for them?
No, we're not making it hard for them. How are we making it hard for them? There are rules and regulations to everything that goes on. If you want to pick passengers and charge them money to take them from point A to point B, you need certain documents to do that.
What documents are these?
Thank you very much. 1, you need a driver's license. 2, you need a roadworthiness certificate that is valid for 6 months, because you take people back and forth. It's not for private use anymore. It is for public use. Okay, the classification for public use is when you carry people and you charge them money. That's just plain and simple. Thirdly, you need a comprehensive insurance, not third party, a comprehensive. Let me explain the difference.
Right.
A third party insurance, if you hit somebody, your insurance only covers the person that you hit, not you or the person inside your car.
Yeah.
A comprehensive, on the other hand, does the other one, covers the person in your car, yourself, the person you hit. So
because you need to provide some protection for the passenger you're carrying.
Thank you very much. It's that simple. There's no ambiguity to it. Third, the law of any state says if you want to engage in commercial activities, i.e. charging people a fee to go from point A to B, you need a Hackney permit. Just so simple. It's not particular to Uber or anybody. It is general across the board. Taxis have it, buses have it, all commercial vehicles have it.
Let me move this up speedily, and I'm going to pass this phone to you. Let me brighten it up just so you can see. I hope I can put up your screen. One of the messages shared with me right now on Twitter is a receipt of someone who paid money to the Lagos State Government Central Billing System. Yeah. And this, I'd like you to look at it. The items here that this payment is for, this person paid a total of 40,000 naira. The items here, number 1, general penalty as first offender, 20,000 naira. Driving with no operator license, 20,000 naira. Take a minute. Okay, so I'm passing your message, or Banjo Usman from Twitter, who says, kindly see the description of penalties and see where a driver has been penalized for operating license. Kindly ask the man to tell us a reason why the driver was penalized for operating license, and to show what operating license looks like. I've passed your message up to him. While he's studying it, I'll go straight to the phone. Good morning. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Please try again if you can. Let me go to WhatsApp, where I hope I'm able to keep up with the messages buzzing right now. Okay, let's start here. No Danfo drivers have comprehensive insurance. That's a comment, Mr. Fashola. Danfo drivers don't have comprehensive insurance. So, have you been clamping down on them for this?
Who's that making that statement?
That's a comment from WhatsApp.
That is a comment. Let the person come and prove it.
Oh, you're saying that they do have comprehensive insurance?
Let the person come and prove it.
But are you saying that Danfo drivers have comprehensive
I'm saying
insurance?
that is the requirement for operating a commercial bus.
Sir, issue of insurance. I just want to let Oga knows that in the Uber platform, we have different insurance. And apart from you carry passenger, just like you are aboard inside the plane, there's a general insurance that covered the passenger inside that aircraft.
Provided for by Uber?
Yes.
Separately from the insurance you have?
Yes. If on the Uber platform and you have an accident, there is an insurance for both you and the rider. And
so you're saying, as a driver, you necessarily don't need a comprehensive insurance?
We just need only third-party insurance
Unfortunately,
to operate. On the
is that
platform of
communicated to the VIS?
That's the major problem you have, sir.
Wait, hold on a second. You cannot communicate that if that is a state requirement. You cannot arbitrarily say,
we have another.
No. If that is a state requirement, that is a state requirement. It's not there for show. It is there for a specific purpose. You can't just say, I don't need it because my company. No, that is a state requirement.
That would mean that if a company then provides additional insurance, it is additional.
It is additional.
Let's talk about this receipt.
That receipt, I'd have to look into it. You show me a receipt on Instagram or whatever it is. You can forward it to me.
But do you understand this receipt?
I understand it. I've seen it.
Do you think this was issued by the VIS?
If it is issued by VIS, it is issued in the right format. Yes.
In the right format. So what could driving with no operating license and the penalty of 20,000 naira mean?
Now, you have to understand something. A lot of people, because of what they see in it, get involved in taxi business, in passenger business. Like I said, operational license is also part of the requirement for driving commercially. All Danfo drivers have operational license. All taxis have operational. All e-operators have operational license.
When you say all, that's pretty.
Yeah, it is all.
Let's get to the phones. Danfo drivers, are you there? Taxi drivers, are you there? Do you have operational license? You're saying this might have been either a taxi or Danfo driver that was asked for.
It could be anybody. I have to look at it. But you are required to have an operational license. An operational license identifies you to operate in the state. Do you understand?
Okay, let me take you to the people. I mean, at this point, I'll just have to hand it over to you. You can join the conversation right now over the phone if you want to call. I'll try to read as many messages as I can. Please keep them short and straight to the point. Tired Nigerian on Twitter says VIS officials are as corrupt as the police. There is clampdown on e-hailing drivers. It says a VIS man in the studio is not saying the truth. Please ask him what the correct documents are. I think he mentioned some of those documents you need to be on the road. Okay, this is coming in from another receipt shared by Adetola Sofiu Alimi. Let me retweet this so I can also see. Please make sure to tag me because I like to show him here in the studio and so I can see it easily. This receipt, another one. Okay, yeah, also shows operating license, a charge for operating license. Okay, Toby Emmanuel Toya on Twitter says, Wemimo, we know all these people will come on air and not. Okay. Let me cut down on the abusive words. It says that is how one VIO started pursuing me on foot in Agege until I turned out of sight. Also, Awolaja Ahmed Alaba says, gosh, I can't keep up with the messages. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see if I can get the audio out of this video. I wish you could see. There's a driver taking a video on the road, and it's a video of VIS men dressed in VIS uniform, the white and black. there's a fight going on. So from here, I can't know who's beating who, but it's one man, two men in the midst of about 5 VIS officials. Can you tell us what this could be about?
I haven't seen the video you're talking about, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
I'll help you see. Please go ahead.
Issue of this operation license is the major problem we have with VIS. And if Oga come here now and they still talking about the operation license, as any driver partners, we want to ask the government, what do they need from us? Because you cannot just mix us together. When we have a company that we are working with, what are they need from us as any driver in Lagos State? So that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the issue of operation license, it has been said several times occasionally, when we even meet the FIS on the roads, that it's not for us to pay, it's for the Uber to pay the Lagos State government. If Uber is supposed to pay this money to Lagos State government, why the government is disturbing us on the road? That's those things that we want to elaborate and clear everything once and for all, so that I can move in peace.
Let me allow him address that. The operational license, you said that if you would operate in Lagos State, you need an operational license because we need to track the business you're doing.
Yes.
But you also mentioned that for them, this is a unique kind of business.
Yes.
Because, the arrangement is such that Uber gets the ride, they just do a part of the business. So for their unique kind of business, do they need an operational license?
Uber as a standalone company, because they work on that platform, would need an operational license to cover all their drivers. Do you understand? Can I
Does Uber as a company have an operational license in Lagos right now?
I believe so, yes. I believe so.
I'll be taking your word
Hold
on
on.
this.
Hold on.
If let me finish up with this line of thought. So if Uber has an operational license that would cover the drivers, would there be a need to ask the drivers for the same operational license?
There would be, because there are a lot of people that are masquerading as Uber drivers. Yes.
In that case, you would need all the drivers on the company to have a copy of the company's operational license?
Which would be a fair statement, yes. Now, let me clarify something. Now, VIS, Vehicle Inspection Service, as a department in Ministry of Transportation, does not issue all these documents to any particular individual except for roadworthiness certificate and driver's license. Now, while we enforce for all agencies of transport within the state, they all have that criteria that drivers, vehicles have to meet, and we enforce all of them. Now, I'm quite surprised that it is only Uber that is raising arms. We have all manners of e-hailing businesses in Lagos State. As a matter of fact, there are up to 20.
So tell us, Mr. Ibrahim, that's a genuine concern.
Why is
it just Uber?
Thank you, sir. We have more than 20 you have mentioned about.
And we've not heard any complaints from those ones. So what's the big deal with Uber?
The operational license Oga was talking here, and what I did not get there is this. If you said that Uber had an operation license,
I did not say that. I said they should have. They might have.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Okay,
sorry.
Correction.
Okay, they should have or they may have. That means we are not sure here. And the only person that can help us with all this is the state government. Because I believe we as a driver partners, we don't have power like government. If we go to that Uber office at Maryland now and they will store down that Uber at Maryland, the same government will come with police to arrest us. And we don't want to be violent. That's why we are telling government, please just categorically tell us if Uber did not meet up the requirement of state and Lagos State, let them store them down. If they make the requirement, they should come out categorically that Uber make the requirement. If a guy is telling us like that,
I'm going to ask him on that question. But can you answer this question? Okay. Why is it just Uber drivers making these complaints? Why are we not getting this complaint from the other e-hailing apps?
Every e-hailing app is complaining because all of us are together. Let me tell you why. the taxify may not be ring bell like Uber because they pay 5 million naira franchise to Lagos State government. Which
you have this on good authority?
Yes. Which Uber refused to pay. So they have having a long jam with the state government as far back to 2016. So we should not deceive ourselves. Governments should come out categorically that Uber, you are not fit to run in Lagos State, pack your load and go. Or you are fit to run in Lagos State, continue your operation. But in a way of putting us at the middle. And that's what we are kicking against. Government should not put us in the middle. If you want operational license from us, and this operational license is not from us, you don't meet the Uber. And the guy talking about fake Uber, fake people using the Uber platform is very simple. We have said these things several times occasionally. There is a way that state government can synergize their system with the Uber platform to roll out how many Ubers in their platform. In fact, that one will even help government for any revenue they want to take. They will know how many numbers of drivers is on their platform. At least government can ask for example, now we have a freedom of information that can have some documents that is legal from any company or any entity. So where the Lagos State do not say, okay, fine, Uber, how many driver partner in your platform? We want to see it. And you fence their platform and all these things were fine. Only government have the parameter and the power to do that, not us. Because if they send us, the way Oga was talking about that, we have to go back and collect our this thing, it will cause a lot of problem because we go to that Maryland and cause problem there.
It will cause a lot of problem for who exactly?
It will cause a lot of problem to states.
Because so if VIS is saying that, Uber or other e-hailing apps need to have...
They say me.
Yeah, if they're saying they need to have an operational license and that you need to carry a copy of this operational license while you're driving on the road, shouldn't it not be asking questions? I asked you this question the last time you were here. Yeah. Why are you not asking these questions from your parent company?
Don't let us deceive ourselves. No.
Is there a problem between the driver partners and the parent company?
There is no problem between them, but they will never answer us. You know why? The reason why the Uber will never answer us is because they knows that nobody can do them anything. In fact,
by nobody you mean including the government?
Including the government, because I believe that in a place that's a company operating with the people, and they refuse to. If you go to that Maryland now, they will not open door for. They will not ask us. They will not listen to us. They will send us back to the government, and we believe government is the only power that can go there and tell them, look, bring all these things, let these guys have it, and this is the demand we need from them. And that's what we are saying.
I need to give you guys the phone numbers, taking about 2 calls. We take the news and then we're back fully on the calls. It's not just Twitter that's agog. Facebook is on fire. I mean, I can't read all the comments. Some of them are totally very rude and not polite, so I can't read them. But there is a general pain, and there's a comment. So you didn't go scot-free today, Mr. Yeah. There's a comment here for Lasma also. Let me see if I can get this up. He's saying you should go to Ojota and see what Lasma officials are doing to drivers there. So they're saying that Lasma officials are also harassing drivers in these areas. I've not been tagged in any video, so I can't see it, but this is an allegation. Do your officers also harass drivers, extort them for money? I'm sure the answer will be no, but think about it again.
Exactly. Latman does not harass. But one thing we should realize is that in this part of the world,
not ring bell like Uber because they pay 5 million naira franchise to Lagos.
No, never mind. Never mind. Please go ahead.
Yeah, one thing we should realize is that in this part of the world, people are not too comfortable with enforcement. But the fact is, once there is the law, there is the need to obey the law. What we have noticed on the road is that people want to err and still go scot-free. Once there is any official that is telling them that you cannot do as you like, that there is a particular code of conduct on the road, they are not too comfortable with it. So, terminate harassment is comparative to who the complaint is coming from.
Let's break it down. Okay, let's be sincere with ourselves. I'm not going to tag it to Lagosians because it's general across all parts of the world. When there are laws and processes in place, people generally don't like to be,
told what to do.
Okay, the rules and regulations are there for specific purposes, not to inconvenience citizens, but to have order and peace. Now, if you as a private citizen have your documents, have your driver's license, have what you are supposed to, I am telling you here, there is no official, whether state or federal, that can harass you because you have what you need to do what it is you want to do. I don't understand where people go around saying someone is harassing. How can you harass somebody when you have the necessary things that you need to have?
If your documents are complete and valid, would you need to be harassed? Let me pause you for a moment. We do need to go in for a news. It's a very short news after this break. I'm coming to the phones. I can't keep up with the messages on WhatsApp. You can hear the phone buzzing, and Facebook, I really just can't keep up. So I'll stay with the phone and try to also reading some messages in here. We're trying to find out what the truth is, and we're going to find it out before we leave here this morning. Who is lying to us? Drivers on the e-hailing app claiming that there's a clampdown on them. The VIS insists there is just a routine check of documents and it's not targeted at anyone. They are both here in the studio. Lasma is also here saying, hey, we're all good and fine. Everything okay. Let's go on a break. We're back in a moment. I'm Wemimo Adewuni. Join us again. Today, I am Wemimo Adewuni, and we're having a tough conversation. Yes, it's tough, but it needs to be had. And we're asking the question, who is lying? Who is not telling us the truth? The Lagos State government came up with a press statement yesterday saying that allegations by Uber drivers that they are being clamped down on is just a way to get public sympathy, and it's totally untrue. And we're asking questions, so if it's untrue, what are the Uber drivers saying? We also have LASMA here. They're also here to enforce traffic rules on the road, and Mr. Adeyeye told us that LASMA would not just stop you to check your documents, only if you have committed a road offense, after which your document can be looked at. Some words used in this statement by the Lagos State government. Let me read a part of that statement. It says the allegation by Uber operators, especially on social media, that the state government was demanding for 110,000 naira operational license fees from their members before they could operate in the state is totally untrue, unsubstantiated, and a ploy to win public sympathy. It goes on to say in the last 3 weeks, the VIS has apprehended close to 1,000 vehicles for various offences, ranging from non-possession of valid driver's license to driving with expired vehicle particulars. 20 Uber vehicles are among those impounded. This statement also says that Uber operators are out to make mischief, as they would not tell the public that their members whose vehicles were apprehended contravened one law or the other. No operator has the right to drive around with a driver's license. I'm heading to the phone. Why do you drive around without a driver's license if you're an operator? Why do you have invalid documents? That's what the VIS said is happening right here. If you don't have the numbers to call us on, here they are.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
Well, I know how much you want to be a part of this conversation, but please don't call WhatsApp. No, I mean, what do you want me to do with the WhatsApp call? Don't call WhatsApp. Call the phone numbers and allow me to read the WhatsApp messages. I can't do that if you're calling the number at the same time. We don't take calls on the WhatsApp number. What we do is read your messages. Let me start with this one. You need to give me your name. Okay, Okpara Joseph says, Uber has been operating for years now and there have been no problems. My question is, if Uber has operational license which covers their operations in Lagos State, does that operational license not cover the drivers on their platform? That's a question from Chuma. And there's another comment in here. He says LASMA does not go after public buses when they commit an offense. Mr. Adeyeye, he's repeated this comment 5 full times for emphasis. Clamping down on Uber drivers is like arresting bank staff for an offense committed by the bank. I think VIS should liaise with Uber as an organization instead of harassing the employee of Uber on the road. Daniel from Alausa. My question is, if Uber has operational license, okay, I think I got it earlier on. Why didn't the VIS go through Uber and others instead of harassing the drivers? Now the VIS want to change the rules in the middle of the game. Please keep noting this comment. We want to know if the rules are changing. The yellow taxi have a union that pay their license. The law enforcement agents don't go after the individual drivers. Why Uber drivers? No downfall has comprehensive insurance. Mr. Adeyeye, that's for you. And they pick multiple passengers and risk the lives of their passengers. Yes, there is no enforcement. Another one in here. The claim that some drivers are fake is not true. If you're not on the platform, you can never be given a request. Please tell the VIS man that when his men are arresting on the road, they don't differentiate between Uber and other e-hailing app. They operate as if no app has ever met their requirement. Another person here says, on this matter, please, can you guys at the traffic situation... Okay, I really don't get your message. Please stop calling. Stop calling so I can read as many messages as possible. Please do stop calling. Peter Smith, Africans want to continue to be slaves. It's a pity. The management of Uber knows the law and they're coming from a strong democratic country. If Hackney permit and a copy of operational license is necessary, they would have put it as a requirement for the drivers before they're allowed to drive. Okay, thank you so much for that comment. Olaito here. Emmanuel from Ilukweju. I know more than 10 Danfo owners, and they say there's nothing like comprehensive insurance or operational license. More so, who gave the VIS the right to search people's phones? I'm coming to that right now. Why should VIS search people's phones? So VIS gives operational license to Danfo with smoking exhaust pipe. The VIS does not issue licenses. You got that earlier on. Olaito says, please ask the VIS man, the vehicle renewal server of Lagos State has been down for the past 3 weeks without solution. Is it a driver's fault? I can't get my vehicle's documents renewed as when due. Is noting those questions. I'll take one more from WhatsApp for now. Okay, let's go to the questions. Why are VIS operators? There have been allegations that two things. One, VIS officers, in a bid to clamp down or harass these drivers, would call a ride on their phones so that these drivers can come to them and then make the arrest.
Well, I'm just gonna laugh at that because the short answer to that, if any VIS officer is doing that, it's very simple. Let Uber produce, because when you call for an app ride, it has
the details of the.
Let them bring the information forward, and I will deal with it.
The drivers can bring this information forward.
Yes, the driver can, Uber can. If someone in VIS called a ride only to arrest you, bring it forward. I want to see it.
Notwithstanding if the arrest was necessary, maybe your papers were valid.
We don't operate like that. That is pure conjecture.
Second question is, so I asked this question last week also. On the road, I mean, every driver is a driver. I mean, how do you identify who drives on the e-hailing app? There have been allegations that VIS officers snatch their phones and check just to ascertain. How do you ascertain who's who?
That's not true. And the answer to that is very simple. We have our ways and our methods of identifying who are e-hailing taxis. It is very simple. Even you can tell.
Tell me how I can tell. I'd like to tell.
I'm not going to tell you that. That is an operational process. I'm not going to tell you that. But we don't go through anybody's phone. It's not even necessary. That is the truth.
It says they don't go through your phones.
Why would we need to go through your phone? For what reason?
Maybe because someone wants to raise a ticket for operating license, like we got on Twitter.
If we catch you for any offense, going through your phone is the least on our minds. Trust me, it has nothing to do with anything at all.
Mr. Kade, quickly.
Yeah, a guy is talking the way the job's supposed to have been carried out, but a guy will not be any part of the feed.
And which is why I'm saying bring.
What's the reporting mechanism? I like reporting. Let me pause you a minute. What's the reporting mechanism? If someone harasses any driver, VIS officer, how do I report? We have the numbers for the police. How do I report such?
The numbers for VIS and my own telephone number is on our website.
Are you sure you want to give your telephone number?
No, it is on our website. You're going
to be getting a lot of calls after the show.
I get a lot of calls on a daily basis.
Please give us a number again.
080-90-76-0336. But I would advise you to send me a text. I cannot answer calls
throughout the day. Certainly. So guys, free of charge.
Report them.
Get the number again. Let me help you publicize it. let's barrage his phone. 080-90-76-0336. 080-90-76-0336. I told you your phone. I warned you. Let me come to the last.
Send a text message.
I told you. Let me come to last mile. There were some allegations raised also in those comments concerning last mile's operations. Go ahead.
I think what I heard was that someone was making allegation that last mile only arrests private vehicles without arresting commercials. No, that's not true. If you go through our removal yards all over Lagos State, you see them littered with yellow buses.
Plenty of them. It's not only last month. VIS, you had task force. There are plenty Danfos there. People just make up stories that is not true.
Why are you guys making up stories that are not true? Let me give you the phone numbers again. Let's stay with the phones for the next few minutes.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
This is Nigeria Info, and yes, we are listening. I'm ready to take your calls now. I hope I can do that. Someone on Twitter says, I really appreciate Nigeria Info for bringing all these men into the studio. Please, the VIS board should state categorically what the necessary requirements for e-hailing cabs are to be free of harassment. Says thanks and for the good work. Someone shares, it bugs me when government officials think we are dumb for having comprehensive insurance. Really?
I didn't say all of them have.
You said all.
I said it is a requirement for you to have.
You did say all, and I asked you if you were sure about the all.
Listen to me, okay? That is why we are on the road, to make sure that they do have it. It is a requirement for all commercial vehicles to have it.
Okay, so someone is answering the question about why we're saying it's only Uber. I said Uber is the only name on people's mouth once e-hailing transportation is mentioned. So that's why they keep just saying Uber as a generic name for all of them. Razak Olamide says, good morning. Uber provides the riders and passengers and not the driver. If Uber has an operational license and they are the ones managing the customers, okay, again, why are the drivers being targeted? The man says Uber used to have operational license. Why are they not asking for it from the drivers since? So why haven't you been asking for the operational license before now from the drivers or the e-hailing app?
Who said we don't?
You've been asking?
For as long as I know, VIS has been in operation. We ask all valid necessary documents from anyone that we feel we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead. I'm trying to get the phone in.
I just want to get things right here today. We have two major problems with VIS: operational license and hacking permit. Issue of last week, that's one settled. We don't have.
We had last dream on the show yesterday.
Yes,
we settled that, yes. Right?
So
last week,
that two major problem that we have with VIS, I want the government to come out categorically concerned to that. If they send us back to the Uber to go and collect operation licenses individually, they are going to be a chaos. Because when you go to that place, Uber will not listen to us, and when the things will go out of hand. So if that one is the only option for us, I just want to ask the government. Secondly, if the government will meet Uber on their own to roll out the driver partner that they are partnering with in Lagos State, that one will be more easier for us, because the angle they put us now is to go and meet Uber, and that one will cause a lot of.
Why are you afraid to go meet your parent company?
We are not afraid to meet anybody. The major problem is this: Uber will not listen to us, even the government.
So is this allegation that the VIS is clamping down on drivers under your platform, is this a subtle cry for the Lagos State government to go speak with Uber on your behalf?
We are not saying the state government should go and speak on our behalf. Let me tell you this: the Uber operation, everybody knows the Uber operation all over the world. They have issue all over the world. They always dodge the law of each country, but it's not left for a particular country or state to go to the right direction. Because if the government says that, okay, you have to go to meet Uber to get your operation license, and the Uber is not listening to us, Uber is not listening to us, and what do you want us to do? To go to their office and sort it down, so that at least maybe when we sort it down on our own, by then the government will not come. Because as it is now, Uber have about 3 offices in Lagos State here. In Lagos State here, we send a lot of letter to them, they never reply. In fact, we DHL a letter to Uber.
Mr. Fashola, what I get
so please,
here,
my fear here now is if the guy is not come out categorically concerned to issue of license, it will cause a lot of problem.
What I gather here is like there's a subtle cry from these drivers asking the government to look into the operations of Uber and other e-hailing apps.
I get that too, and I've noted it. I will take it to the appropriate authorities, and we will look at it holistically. I assure you, when I get back to the office, it'll be one of my first point of call to relay that message. But also, I need to tell you, or I need to tell all e-hailing drivers, partner drivers, it is a requirement for you to have a Hackney permit in order to operate in Lagos State. It is a requirement.
And this Hackney permit is renewable every 6 months.
Yes, it is. And it is for people that carry passengers and charge them money to take them from point A to B, up to 8 passengers. That is what it's for.
Up to 8 passengers.
Yes.
They don't pick up to 8 passengers.
No. They pick one up to. I didn't say 8. I said up to 1, 2, 3, whatever.
So the limit is 8.
Yes.
It could be 1.
It could be 2.
And then it could be 8.
If that one is the things, most of at least 50 of us will not fall into that category, because in a day, somebody may not pick up to 8 riders. Let me give you an example.
You mean at a time? So if you have one rider, is this a cumulative or per trip?
No, it is. What do you mean cumulative? I don't
so he's saying that calculate all my passengers for the day if it's up to 8.
No, it doesn't work that way. Okay. If you at any time say you want to operate and carry people as a general rule, whether you have 1 or 2, whether you have none in the car, you must have that.
Whether you have none.
Whether you have none in the car.
If I don't have none right now, I'm not doing business.
Then you don't need a Hackney permit. As a private citizen, you own a car, you drive yourself, you go everywhere. You don't need a Hackney permit. I am saying if you carry people and charge them money to take them from point A to B, you need a Hackney permit.
And for the operating license, so right now you've promised you're going to look into this matter.
I will look
once you get into the office. Can I ask you that you also look into this receipt? I'll send you the copies. I'll send the copies. If you can look into this receipts, I'll do a follow-up on the show.
Absolutely.
We want to know if these receipts were issued by the VIS, because there is a note on the details of the payment that says no operational license. And we want to know if this was a taxi or a driver on the. But right now, just hypothetically, let's assume that Uber doesn't have the operational license as at now. These drivers are working as at now. What do you suggest they do in terms of operational license?
Well, let's go back to their parent company. They do work on their platform. Without the app, they can't work. Am I correct? Without that app, you cannot work.
Yeah.
So Lagos State government doesn't own that app. It is owned by a private company such as Uber. So you need to go to Uber. But I have listened to what he has said.
Right.
And we will also take that matter up. I will relay it to the proper authorities when I get back to the office. It's something that you and I are seeing playing out here now. I understand his plight, and we as a state government do not want to inconvenience anybody, but we still have to follow the rules and regulations. Unfortunately, for one reason or the other, Uber drivers seem to fall under that category. I don't know why.
Uber as a generic name.
It cannot be a generic name because.
Well, they say that's how they use it.
Okay.
The same way we say Maclean's and.
Okay, but Wemimo, why is it only? Leave the generic name alone. There's boats. There's Oga taxi. There's plenty waka. There's all this other. They don't. I don't get complaints from them.
Sir,
it's always, you cannot use Uber as a generic name because it is specific to a company.
Yes, sir. We have complaints across the ENA, sir. You may not get the picture of what we are going through. What I will beg you here is this, sir. As you said, you want to go and look at to this issue of operating license. Please help us tell your men, sir.
Yes.
Pending to the time the government finalize the issue on it, they should let us work. The issue of hacking permits, we still try and see the way we can do that, but government too have to open their server so that you can get it in time, because now it's down.
There was a comment on that server.
Second is that the issue of last free, you don't have problem there. We get last free, there's no problem about that. But the issue of operation license, as Oga rightly said, they should tell their men to hold on pending to the time the government will sort it out between us and the Uber. The reason why Uber coming in front is that whatever Uber does is what the other app company follow, because they believe they are the one that first in the market.
That lead in the
everybody
market.
will now line behind them. If you even go into all those ENE that you have mentioned, how many of them pay prices? According to the information I have, only 35 pay 5 million naira to Lagos state government.
Well, the comment I made is
I don't know whether they have renewed it this year or not. So if we want to even talk,
but
today,
you don't even know if Uber has operational license.
That one is not our major concern.
Don't you think it should be? If it's causing such a ruckus, shouldn't you know?
No. See, let me just take London as an example. And that's why we want Lagos State to look at some certain things. All these things, we don't even need to be talking about it. All the revenue will go to the government easily. This era of technology, we can do apps. This apps is collecting money from us. We pay 25% to Uber every trips. We pay 20% to Taxify or Boat every trips. How did they get this money from us? All this money is not even coming to us. They pay us every week. So if there's a way that government want a revenue from this organization, there's a way we can sit.
Okay, we're really running out of time now. Let me ask a question about the Hackney permit. There are questions about where they can get their Hackney permit right now. Where can that be done?
You can get that from public transport and commuter services. Their head office is in Old Secretariat GRA, so you can get it from there. And I believe you can get it at some MVA stations too. I'm not quite sure about that, but I know the headquarters is the Old Secretariat GRA.
But a very quick online search can lead you to the right place.
Absolutely.
We're going to follow up on two things: on if Uber does have an operating license, which you don't seem to know, and secondly, on the receipts that have been shared. We want to know why people are being charged for operating license, who was charged, and why were they charged. We'll follow up on that, and also on this subtle cry by these drivers for the Lagos State government to look into this conversation. We really do need to go now. I must thank Mr. Adeoye. Had a cool day. Oh, all the fire was on one part of the table today.
Sorry.
No, I can't. I can't take any more.
I do not talk. I want to get to help us.
We'll talk about the outside. I really need to go now. I can't take any more comments. I'm sorry. Mr. Adeoye Oluyemi James, last month head of operations Rover. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, coming back again, and then it's going to be all about you. Don't worry. Mr. Kijaj Fashola is the director Vehicle Inspection Service. We thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, man.
And also, Mr. Ayode Ibrahim, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, man.
Of course, you know that we're still following up on this story on Nigeria Info, but Tunji Andrews is here to give us a scoop as to what's going on the Money, Business and Economy show coming up right after this. Tunji, how are you?
I'm good. Morning. Good morning.
What's up? What's coming up?
It's Tech Tuesday, and basically, we talk all things technology today, and today's not going to be any different.
Yeah, technology, that came in the talk with LASMA, use of technology to track vehicles so we don't jump after those vehicles. Join the conversation on Tech Tuesday on the Money, Business and Economy. I'm back 6 a.m. tomorrow morning with more conversations. It's going to be as heated as ever. I'm up on Twitter at Wemimo Sport. Have a fantastic day. Keep listening to Nigeria Info.